At some point in your scientific journey, you will face a question that quietly determines the direction of your entire life. Should you stay in academia or move to industry? And if you choose the wrong path, it may not feel painful immediately. But 10 years later, many scientists, many engineers, many professionals wake up with a difficult realization. They optimize their life for the wrong priorities, and by then, changing direction feels much harder. I have seen brilliant scientists struggle with this decision for years, sometimes even decades. But today, I want to help you think about this question in a way that save you years of confusion, years of frustration, and years of financial stress. After mentoring many students and going through both academia and industry myself, I realized something disturbing. Most scientists do not make the wrong career decision because they lack talent. They make the wrong decision because they unknowingly fall into three hidden mistakes when choosing their path. Mistakes that feel harmless in the moment, but quietly shape the next 20 or 30 years of your life. And by the time you realize it, it's too late. Today I'm going to show you what those three mistakes are, and once you see them, you will never ever look at the industry versus academia question the same way again. But before we go deeper, let me briefly introduce myself for those who are watching this channel for the first time or have never followed me on LinkedIn or have never heard of me. Because advice about the career should only come from people who have actually lived through the decision themselves. So this is my quick introduction. I'll try to make sure that I touch on the relevant points which are related to the concern of this video. So my name is Jiten Pant. My journey across the academia and industry has been anything but linear. I started with a BTech degree in biotechnology in India. After graduating, I joined Biocon, where I worked on a research related to FDA-approved therapies. Within a few years, I was promoted, doing well in industry, but I still had a deep curiosity for research and higher education. So after working there for 3 years, I decided to leave industry and pursue further studies. I completed a Masters of Engineering from BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus, and during that time, I went to Germany as an exchange scholar in the University of Würzburg. Later, I came to the United States to complete my master thesis as an exchange student. Eventually, I pursued a PhD at the University of Georgia. Like many scientists, I believed my long-term future would be in academia. So after I completed my PhD, within the 1 year of completion, I interviewed for faculty positions at 6 different universities in the United States. But eventually, I decided to do a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Michigan. If you look baffled by this decision, I'll cover that in a separate video, but let's stick to the topic. At that stage, I was preparing for a traditional academic career. But life sometimes takes unexpected turns. Eventually, I decided to move back into the industry. I started as an application scientist at Caron Scientific, and within 6 months, I became the global director of R&D, heading their US and UK division, as well as helping them with mergers and acquisitions and product development. And after a few years later, I became CEO of another biotech company. Today, I run 2 companies in the United States. One is a scientific consulting company called Green Scientist, and another one is a biomedical company called No Biotechs. Across this journey, I have mentored and trained around 20 students, undergraduates and PhDs, and hundreds of other professionals. Some joined industry, some stayed in academia, some became physicians. But across all these conversations, one question keeps appearing again and again and again. Especially coming from students who are at the early stage, finishing their bachelor's or early in their PhDs or have just started postdoc. Should I stay in academia or go to industry? But before you decide between industry and academia, there is one mistake I see scientists make over and over again, and it quietly destroys their career. And the scary part is that most people do not realize they made this mistake until 10 years later. We will come back to that in a moment, but first we need to talk about something deeper, because this decision is not really about academia versus industry. It's about how you, as an individual, design your life. So here is the reality of scientific careers, which I want to explain by starting with something very honest. Both academia and industry can lead to meaningful careers. Both paths allow you to contribute to science. Both paths can lead to impact, but the daily reality of these two worlds is very different. So here are some academic rewards. Intellectual independence. Once you become a professor, you have a lot of intellectual independence. Teaching and mentoring, if you like that, this is for you. Long-term research questions that you have time to answer, and deep curiosity-driven exploration. On the other hand, industry rewards speed, collaboration, product development, solving real-world problems quickly. Neither system is perfect, but both systems have politics. Both systems have pressure. Both systems have frustrations. But they reward very different personality types. And that leads us to the first hidden mistake. What is that mistake? Mistake number one: prestige versus personality. The very first mistake scientists make is choosing their careers path based on prestige instead of personality. Many scientists choose academia because they believe that it is the noble path. Others choose industry because they believe it is the successful path financially. But prestige and salary alone are terrible decision frameworks. Instead, you must ask yourself, what kind of life do I actually enjoy living? For example, do you enjoy teaching students? Do you enjoy mentoring young scientists? Or do you enjoy writing papers and grants? Do you enjoy exploring ideas for years without immediate results? If yes, academia might be deeply fulfilling, especially if you have this kind of personality. But if you enjoy solving practical problems, working in teams, building products, seeing your work translate into real-world impact quickly, then industry might suit you better. Choosing prestige over personality often leads to long-term dissatisfaction. But even if you choose a path that matches your personality, many scientists will make the second mistake. And this one quietly destroys career financially, because very few people talk honestly about financial timelines of scientific careers. The key word here is financial timelines. So mistake number two is basically ignoring financial realities. Let's talk openly about something that many academic environments avoid discussing. Money. Not because money is everything, but because financial stress shapes your life decisions. If you pursue academia, the timeline often looks like this. You finish your undergrad, and with or without a master's, you do a PhD, you do a postdoc, and then you apply for faculty positions. That process can easily take anywhere between 15 to 20 years. During many of those years, your income may be relatively modest. For some people, that is perfectly acceptable. That is perfectly acceptable. But you must ask yourself practical questions. Do I already have financial stability? Do I come from a financially wealthy family? Do I have financial support from the family? Do I have enough savings if you're already working? Do I have a partner? If you are married, do I have a partner whose income can help support our lives during those years? And there is no shame in thinking about these questions. Science should not require you to sacrifice financial stability and dignity. In fact, if you create innovations that help humanity, you deserve to be rewarded for that work. Ignoring financial realities can create enormous stress in your life. It can put your marriage at risk. And that brings us to the most dangerous mistakes of all. The third mistake is one that I have seen destroy the confidence of many brilliant scientists. This third mistake is subtle. This third mistake often starts with good intentions, but over time it leads to deep, extremely deep regrets. The third mistake is living other people's expectations. The third mistake is designing your career around other people's expectations, other people's choices, other people's priorities. Many scientists choose academia because their professors expect them to stay. Others choose industry because their families expect financial stability. Some make decisions based on what will impress others, their friends, their neighbors, their relatives. But the person who will live with this decision every day for the next 30, 40, 50 years is you. Not your professor, not your parents, not your colleagues, not your neighbors, not your friends. If your career decisions are driven primarily by external validation, eventually you will feel an internal conflict one day. And that conflict with your personality is deeply, deeply, deeply painful. You must design your life based on your values, your personality, your priorities. So here is the question you must ask yourself. You must ask this question before choosing a path, and it's going to be hard questions. Does this path align with my personality? Can I see myself doing this work for the next 4, 5, 10, 20 years? What are my financial realities? What kind of lifestyle do I want in my 30s and 40s? Do I want to teach? Do I want to build products? Or do I want to be an entrepreneur? Or do I enjoy academic environment? Do I enjoy the pace of industry? And another important question, a very important one. Do I have a support system while I make these decisions? Support system means the system that includes your parents. If you are married, a partner. If you are not married, the boyfriend or the girlfriend that you have, the friends that you have, the mentors that you have. Because any difficult career path will bring moments of doubt. Moments when your mind feels overwhelmed. Moments when the pressure becomes intense. During those moments, support system will matter enormously. And here is another path that we are not thinking beyond academia and industry, the entrepreneurship path. For some of you, there is a third path, building companies, turning ideas into product yourself, taking the lead there, taking the charge there. But entrepreneurship requires additional skills. You do not just need to know science or innovation, you need to know about business, finance, marketing, leadership, sales. If that path excites you, you must start learning those skills early, even in an informal format. Let me leave you with one final thought. No matter no matter which path you choose, academia or industry or entrepreneurship, it will be difficult. There will still be long nights, sleepless nights. There will still be failures. There will still be moments of doubt. But when you make a difficult decision consciously, those failures do not destroy your confidence because you know that you chose those paths intentionally. And if one day you realize you need to change direction, you can pivot. Careers should not be prisons, they are journeys. And if pivoting is helping you reach the next step of your journey, do that. The world does not need more scientists who simply follow the default path that your parents or your siblings or your friends are choosing for you. The world needs scientists who design their lives intentionally, make thoughtful decisions, think deeply, take responsibility for your journey, and never, ever give up on your life you want to build. If this message resonated with you, tell me in the comments, where are you in your career right now? Are you an undergrad, or are you a PhD? Are you a postdoc, or are you already working in industry? And are you leaning towards the academia or industry? I promise you I read every comment, and I'll continue making videos about these complex career decisions because I know how confusing this journey can be. I have exactly been where you are today, and I really wish you good luck. Keep moving forward and never, ever give up on yourself. All the best.